Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Davies. I am the Community and Social Media Manager at MagicSchool AI.
Welcome to the show, Andrew. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying this first ever GAETC.
As am I. First one ever, and so far it's been fun. It's been fun. This is day one, and I want to give a big shout out to GAETC, the Georgia Educational Technology Conference, and the consortium as a whole for allowing us to do this. Now, with that being said, how many weeks have you been with MagicSchool?
So this is actually month 2.
Oh, month 2.
Month
okay.
2.
All right.
I'm a veteran now.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So they gave you a nice parking spot and everything now?
Yes, my online parking spot is very beautiful.
All right. Sounds good. So prior to working with MagicSchool, what did you do in education before?
So I worked in education for about 15 years.
Okay.
I was a 4th grade and 5th grade math and science teacher, respectively, different amount of years. And then I jumped into the digital learning coach role where I trained teachers on using technology applications, went into lesson planning to work with teachers. But at the same time as doing that, I started a social media channel on TikTok and Instagram. And that started as a joke because the teachers were not reading my newsletters. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go where you are. So I started making TikTok videos about tech tools that they could use. Long story short, one of my first videos to kind of go off was on MagicSchool, and that kind of went viral. Got to talking to the MagicSchool team about 1.5 years ago, and then long story short, ended up going to ISTE with them this last year. 2 weeks later, got a phone call about applying for this position, seeing if something I'd be interested in, and here I am. So
congratulations,
kind of a wild ride.
I think I've got a... Hey, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
I knew I'd find it. I know
that.
I have one here somewhere, but it's a new unit, and I didn't remember exactly which pad it was assigned to. But congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you were on the food tour with us.
Yes, it was amazing.
Denver
food,
knows
y'all.
how to cook and how to eat, for sure.
My wife still talks about the Nutella pizza. Shout out to I can't remember the name of the place. Major shout out, though, the Nutella pizza.
It's slipping my mind, but yeah, that was definitely a good one. That was one where the boys and I, because my boys obviously were there. If you were watching or listening, you have no idea what we're talking about. But we had a food tour over in Denver, and it was awesome. We took the leftovers, and we walked back to the hotel, and we stopped at a park and finished the Nutella pizza.
As you should have.
It was delicious. It was delicious. All right, so you were in education for quite some time.
Yes.
4th and 5th grade, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Jumped into this role. Did you necessarily want to go down this path, or did this just kind of happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as a digital learning coach, that was a role that I had been working towards for years and absolutely loved it and still love it. Like, love all my coworkers, love the team that I was on. It's the most perfect job on the planet. If you're an educator who loves technology, you're the fun uncle of the school. You go in, you do a fun tech lesson, you get the kids riled up, and then
you walk out of the room. Yeah. See you guys. I'm out.
It's the best job. This was just one of those opportunities where, I was trying to move my career in the direction of how can I impact the most students as possible through my knowledge of using technology in the classroom. And, through social media, I started to kind of see that impact. And then obviously when this role popped up, it was, hey, Andrew, you're going to be working with our community of teachers who are our power users, who are trying to use this new technology with students. We want you to help guide that community. That was just too attractive of an opportunity that I had to go for. And I do not regret it whatsoever. I miss student interaction. Like, I loved it. They just bring so much life, right? So I'm trying to get out to classrooms more often now, but that it's been awesome.
Okay, so that actually was one of my questions too.
Okay.
What do you miss? But
yes,
I could imagine that there's times where you see the things going on. Like, for example, me, I'm in that educational technology specialist, that instructional technology coach.
Yeah.
Where I constantly ask myself, like, if I was still in the classroom and I had all of these tools available to me that I didn't have 13, 14 years ago when I first started as a coach, who knows what I'll be doing with my students. So it's amazing to see how far we've come in such little time.
It's wild.
Yeah. Now, before I get on to the next question, You know me, it's all about food. It's all about breaking bread together. So we're literally breaking bread together.
You are the man.
So you're not allergic to blueberries, are you?
No.
Okay.
Gosh, no.
Good question. That was my next question. I should. It's a good thing I asked you before you bit it.
Right. Let me take a little bite.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. So Magic School. All right.
Mm-hmm. Now, delicious.
Oh yeah.
I'm being proper here because normally the donut hole, I just pop the whole thing at once, but I'm trying to savor the flavor,
As am I. As am I. I'm on a health kick right now.
Yeah.
And I haven't had one of these in
Well, cheers to you.
3-4 hours. No, I'm just kidding. It's been
I remember
quite some
you
time.
sharing about your journey, your health journey. Dude, congrats.
Thank you.
Huge.
It's I literally walk/jog a 5K every morning before sunrise since ISTE. And actually since ISTE, I've shed 31 pounds. Since the beginning of this calendar. There we go.
Hit that button.
Since the beginning of this calendar year, it's been a total of about 40 and some change. So
You just feel so good.
yeah, I do.
should.
I do. And it's I guess it's starting to become a good addiction. Like I woke up this morning, I was ready to go. It was a little humid this morning, and I knew there was some rain potentially. So I went to I found the basically the gym in the hotel and jogged 2 miles on the treadmill.
For you.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of drive.
Yeah. So
That's impressive.
It once you start and you get into that routine, it's second nature. It becomes a part of you, and like they say, it takes 21 days to do 21 days of anything will turn into a habit.
What a good example to your kids too. Just to see your perseverance there. That's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah. All right. Enough about me.
Yeah.
Enough about
okay.
me. Magic School.
Yes.
Even since you've started, even since ISTE, there's updates that have come about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, let me ask you this. If somebody watching or listening has never heard of Magic School,
Sure.
give us the 30-second elevator speech.
Okay.
Go for it.
So if you've never seen Magic School before, basically what it is, if you're familiar with the large language model AI programs that are out there like ChatGPT, Bard, Claude, all the above, what we've done is we've taken that technology and we've packaged it for you as an educator. So we've done some prompting and some work on the engineering side to make sure the outputs that come out are focused in on you and your needs in education. Whereas if you're just going to ChatGPT, it's kind of more the Wild West. Along those same lines, when you use those large language models like ChatGPT that train on your data and what you've put out there, that's not necessarily a good thing for educators and their students. So Magic School doesn't do that. We don't train the model on anything that you create in Magic School or your students create. So there's that extra level of safety there. And then additionally, what we've done is we've taken those large language models and we've created tools. We have about 75 of them right now. There's a lot of them. There's a lot
75.
75 tools that are designed by educators for educators. So our team is made up of 90% educators, former educators. So even our engineers, everyone in there has teachers in mind, student outcomes in mind when they're designing all these tools. Additionally, I feel like Magic School hits on, big hot topic right now is AI literacy, which I'm very passionate about. And, something I think Magic School does really well is it hits on all the levels of AI literacy that you might want. For example, if you have a teacher who's brand new to AI, you've never touched it, you're scared of it, right? Which understandably, it's a serious topic right now. If you're brand new to it, we have tools that are already designed that you can go in, click the button, put in some parameters, and see what AI can do. You can start learning just about the basics of AI, right? What can it possibly do for me as an educator? Once you feel comfortable there, you can go to our chatbot, which is called Raina, which is basically utilizing a ChatGPT type large language model with an educator lens. So you can then go there and do some more versatile work where you can talk to the chatbot, use your prompting skills to build whatever it is that you might need. And then lastly, we have custom chatbots that you can design and create yourself, making it more specific to your needs, your students' needs, and there's many, many exciting things coming as well that's going to kind of even enhance and improve upon those customization features.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell. It was a little longer than 30 seconds.
Longest 30 seconds I've ever heard. It's all good. It's all good. Now, with all those tools, there's literally a tool for everything.
They have a lot, yes.
Yeah, and one of the newest tools that I started playing around with when I'm part of the newsletter. I receive that newsletter every week, multiple times a week at times. And it's that prompt engineering one. I forgot the exact title of it.
The prompt assistant.
Prompt assistant. There you go. So it walks you through the process and kind of gives you a hyper focus as to what it is you really want to ask.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I created a video last week on my top three.
Mm-hmm.
My top
I
three.
saw it.
My top three are standards unpacker, the rubric generator, and the email responder.
Yep.
In your experience, if you had to just top three tools in MagicSchool AI.
It changes so often because we have so many, like you said, there are constant updates.
Yeah.
I always go back to the rubric generator first, and the reason was that's the first tool I came across that really made me see the power of what AI can do for you as a teacher to save you time, right?
Okay.
So I would say the rubric generator first. The second one is the custom chatbot. And this is because I've had a lot of practice at this point with AI and prompting. I love creating the most elaborate, interesting custom chatbots that I can that students could interact with. So for example, if you're familiar with, not to say another company name, but Genially, they have digital, escape rooms.
Yeah, I just did one last week with sixth grade.
Yes, I love them. So I did an app smash at ISTE showing off how I would take their digital escape rooms, remove the multiple choice questions, and put in a MagicSchool custom chatbot that the students had to convince the chatbot that it understood the topic. And once the chatbot decided that the student showed mastery, it gave them the code to escape the escape room. So it's just kind of things like
Andrew,
that.
My mind, that hamster is turning on the wheel right now.
That's my favorite.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
keep going.
No. So yeah, the custom chatbot, just because of the versatility and the things that you can really start to build with it. And I think right now, if I was going to pick like a more recent release, I probably would say the prompt assistant, just because of the importance that I feel AI literacy is to any student's education. And I think the ability of students to be able to talk to the chatbot, share a prompt, and then the prompt assistant says, hey, your prompt is great. Here's a way to rewrite it. And this is why we fixed it. This is what we did to fix it. So students can actually see, oh, I need to give it a better role. I need to be more specific with, the types of questioning that I wanted to ask, things like of that nature. I think that's just the tip of the iceberg of what we can do, even with our platform, to help build more of those AI literacy skills. And that's something we're looking to continue to add to. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. First time user.
Yeah.
So we're going to have, you guys have had multiple people stop by the booth.
Yes.
If one of those people gets on MagicSchool for the first time, they create their account, www.magicschool.ai, and then log in with Google or Microsoft. That's right. Oh, wrong button. Whatever.
Don't listen to that sound.
No, it doesn't go well. That was an oxymoron. But they jump on there and they see the tools and they go through the tutorial.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably the first tool in MagicSchool AI for a teacher who's never used it?
Ooh, that's a great question. So probably what I would first, before I'm going to kind of back up a little bit.
Go for it.
What I would say when you first jump onto MagicSchool, if it's your first time on creating an account, it's going to ask you to set up a profile. That profile is going to ask you for your grade level, the subjects you teach, your role. And so once you fill that out, on the home page, there's a section called Recommended for You, and there'll be 5 or 6 tools that will populate based on your role to help you find a place to get started. And if you have a really specific role, like maybe you're an art teacher teaching, I don't know, sculpture or sculpting or something, right? There's a tool there on that same section that you can click on, and it will use the AI to give you an idea of where to start with MagicSchool. So it's kind of funny using AI to figure out how to get started, which seems kind of interesting, but that's probably where I would say to start first. And then picking one of those tools. Honestly, all of the tools work the same way. They all have the same format. They all have the same kind of structure. I think I always show the rubric first, rubric generator first, just because I think it's a big wow factor. And I love to show teachers how they can create the rubric and then backwards plan and say, I created the rubric, now ask Raina to make the lesson plan to lead to that rubric. Create the station work that's going to lead to that final assignment. So I think the rubric generator, I keep going back to it. It's just one of my faves. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That's common ground for us. That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
With that being said, one of the things that happens a lot, especially at these conferences, is teachers, educators, basically any participant who comes here, they get shown all of the cool paid features that all of these tools from all these vendors happen to have. Magic School is a little bit different in the sense of your tier system. So, correct me if I'm wrong. As a free user, I have access to all of the 70, would you say 76?
75.
75,
about 70, somewhere around
75-ish tools.
Ish. Yes.
Okay.
You have access to all the tools. You also have access to the entire student-facing platform. So you can actually create what we call student rooms and give students access to whichever tool that you feel necessary for a given assignment. That's all free.
Okay.
Yes.
And the paid feature is the ability for the automatic exports to the automatic, I can't think of the word right now, but I could picture it at the bottom right under my output.
Yep. So we have actions buttons. We also have
there you go.
The chat. Yeah. So the paid version, really the big difference is the further customizations you can do with what you've generated. So let's say you created the rubric, you can do that for free.
Yeah.
But let's say after you've created it, you want to continue the conversation with the AI and say, actually, can you add a column for teacher comments? Actually, can you make this a student reflection rubric? Actually, can you use slang words that a middle school boy might understand? Right? Those further customizations would be
Sigma.
An additional would be a part of the paid plan.
Yeah.
Now, there are workarounds. Like you could do that in your initial prompt.
Or
if you
it already gave it to me, I can go back and edit my prompt.
Right. You can go back and edit your prompt. Exactly. So that's the biggest part of the paid plan. And then, of course, the paid plan has like single student sign-on, a lot of more of the administrative data that you can see on the dashboard, seeing what's being generated, what types of conversations are being had, things like that are probably the major differences. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Magic Student.
Yes.
Give us the quick and dirty on Magic Student. What is that?
Magic Student basically allows the teacher to assign any of the AI tools that the teacher might have access to the student. The teacher can customize those tools before they go out to the student. The student doesn't have to sign into anything. All the teacher has to do is give a link or a QR code. The student goes to that link, puts in their name, and then they can utilize the tool under the moderation of the teacher. So the teacher can see every conversation. The students don't interact with one another. It is just between the chatbot, the student, and the teacher. If a student gets off topic or is using language or what have you,
colorful
language, it will actually flag on the teacher dashboard and let you know that something is going on in this chat. You make sure to go check that out. Trying to think where I was going to go with that. What we also love is the teacher platform and the student platform are identical.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big believer in teachers need to build their capacity, learn AI, understand what's happening before you decide, hey, students, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
You want to build your own AI literacy. But what's great is when the teachers are ready to do that, there's no learning an additional tool. It's literally the exact same UI, right? The user interface is identical. So if a teacher's masterful and understands Magic School, they're going to understand how to help implement it with their students seamlessly. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So Magic School, Magic Student.
All the above.
All the above, all those 75 buttons and features and tools. And ironically, you guys have a tool on AI-resistant assignments.
Yes, there is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
very interesting.
We're
to throw that in.
Yeah, we're big believers in, AI should be used with a purpose. It should be used as a tool. We believe in the, 80-20 approach where let AI do about 80% or less, depending on how you're using it, right? You, as a teacher, should always be the final 20 or more, and really be the final eyes, the final say on anything that you created. So AI resistant tool, the design there is, I'm not, the whole AI, what do you call them? Detectors and all that stuff.
Gosh, don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Right, that type of thing is just not. They don't work. We won't get into that. But the resistance tool is, if you are working in higher education or working with high school students that you're afraid they're cheating, right? I think the best approach is to first, hey, well, let's address it. Let's teach them how to use the tools appropriately. Don't just keep avoiding it. But that
because
tool,
they're already using it.
They're already using it anyways.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's already out there. So that tool's there just to kind of give you some ideas and what are some hands-on things we could do that AI wouldn't be necessarily needed for, because you don't need it for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we want to use it purposefully.
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 That sounds good. All right. Now, you guys have a Pioneer program.
We do.
Talk to us about that Pioneer program and how people can be a part of it.
Yes. So the Pioneer program is actually my job to help herd the pioneers. As the community manager, that's what I get to do, and I've loved it so far. We're actually, basically what it is, it's our boots on the ground. It's the teachers that are our power users, using it effectively with other teachers, maybe they're tech coaches, maybe they're administrators, teachers themselves. Now, right now, as it is, we have a pretty large group, 5,000-6,000 teachers right now.
Wow.
And it's growing very fast. So if you want to join, you would just go to our website under, I believe it's under PD resources or under resources. There's a section that says become a pioneer, and you can go through that process of applying.
Yeah. But you have to go through the level 1
yes.
and level 2. Is there a third
There's
one?
three courses.
Right?
Yep. There's 3 courses that we have online that are free. They're self-paced, where you can learn about Magic School, AI in general, best practices, all that. And then you can apply to be a pioneer. Now, I will say, in January, we're revamping it.
Oh.
We're going to basically because it's such a large group, we want to figure out what are our pioneers' skills, how do they want to advance their careers, if applicable, and we want to kind of give them opportunities. So, for example, if you're someone who loves doing podcasting, you're a pioneer.
I know someone.
And we want to, if we want to connect you with pioneers who are like, I want to get on podcasting. And you're like, how can I do that? We want to have subgroups of pioneers that kind of have expertise. And we want to support them. So if they want to go to a conference, we want to be like, yeah, let's get you to the conference. If they want to do more presenting, they want to do social media, we want to try to give them an amplified voice. And so that's kind of the idea of the repurpose coming soon.
Got it. So it sounds like the pioneers are going to be grouped as buttons, kind of like in the tools.
Right. Yes. Push this button. You will have a list of pioneers who can help you. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. How can people connect with you and Magic School?
So I'm pretty easy to find, whether it be through any of our social media channels. I kind of manage all of them. So if you have any questions, you reach out to us through any of them. I will be the one responding to you, or you can email me at andrew@magicschool.ai if you have any questions or need anything.
All right. And I want to give a big shout out to Adil Khan,
yes,
Jenny Long, and everyone on the Magic School AI team. And I'm not just saying that because you guys are sponsoring our GAETC episodes, but I genuinely have a lot of love and respect for what you guys are doing, what you guys are doing for educational space, and what you are contributing to our teachers to take some of that load off their shoulders. I had a conversation with Adil at TCEA last year. I didn't record any podcasts at TCEA other than him. That was the only one I did, and we had such a really good conversation, and he gave us his background, where the product, the idea came from, his vision, and the one word that constantly comes to mind when I think of him and that conversation I had with him was genuine.
Yeah.
Very genuine.
I'm so glad you said that. You just gave me the best alley-oop ever into why I decided. So at ISTE, okay, I had never actually met Adil. Yeah. I'd worked with some of his other, Magic School people at the time when it was very, very small.
When they had that table at ISTE 2022.
I'm sure, yeah. So when I met ISTE...
you met him? Wow.
I met ISTE, Mr. ISTE. Yeah. No, when I met Adil, I was immediately wowed by how genuine he was. Yeah. He is not your typical CEO. It's bizarre to think of him in that way. He is so ingrained in what do teachers need. He's a former principal. He was a former sped teacher. His heart, every time we talk and meet as a team, it is always, how are you all doing? How is everybody feeling? Like, what can we do to further improve teachers' lives? Like, he's unreal. And so when the offer was officially made to me to join Magic School, it was a no-brainer because of him and like getting to know him. So
he made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
He made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again for everything that you guys are contributing, everything you're doing, the perspective and the energy that you're bringing to the team as well. I mean, everybody on that team has a skill, has a skill set that they're bringing to the table, and you are definitely adding to that.
Thank you.
From the outsider looking in, I can definitely say that with honesty.
I appreciate that. And dude, you as well. Like, what you bring to the Edtech world is so fun, and like you can learn so much from just sitting and watching your videos, which you're on like number 200.
200. This will be
233.
Yeah, I want to say. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's
almost
wild.
7.5 years. 7.5 years.
Wow.
So
well,
we
steady. Appreciate all that you're doing as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I do have one last question for you, sir.
Okay.
Corn tortillas or flour tortillas?
Can I cheat? Can I cheat? It depends.
Okay. All right. You're going to play that political. I'm on both sides of the fence.
Listen,
all right.
I don't know if you know anything about like Enneagram or any of that. I am a 9, which is a peacemaker. It is so hard for me to make a determination on anything.
Really?
Yes. Like, I typically go towards flour.
Okay.
But if it's like a street taco, corn.
Okay.
Flour if it's like maybe like a burrito, like a big burrito. Corn, anything street taco. That's my answer.
I love how you didn't answer the question.
Being very diplomatic here. I don't want to make anyone mad at me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the conference. And can't wait to break bread with you guys again at one of these other conferences.
Yes.
So it'll happen.
Cannot wait.
All right. Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.